Welcome to the Gabriel Greenhouse. This week for Toxin Tuesday, we are going to talk about the toxin air. Air is a very important toxin to me because this is something, indoor air, we can usually have somewhat control over. Outdoor air is a little different, but we can help environmentally with choices that we make for outdoor air as well. First off, what is a toxin? It is any chemical substance that interferes with cell turnover. When you breathe polluted air, you introduce toxins into every cell of your body, and that slows your cell turnover. When we slow our cell turnover, we cannot create a new body, which every 7 to 10 years, we get the opportunity to create a brand new body through cell turnover. So if you haven't exercised for a long time, you can change that over a 7 to 10 year span. If you haven't ate healthy, if you've smoked, any of those things, I think it's so amazing that our body is able to regenerate. So that's why I like to clean up toxins. Air, right now, the American Lung Association has came out and they said that it's one of the most 5 urgent environmental risks to our public health. I think that's something that we can focus on. If we clean up our air, that's going to help immunity. Indoor air can be up to 5 times more polluted, and that's what we're going to discuss today, is how to clean up the indoor air and absorb those toxins. Some things that I like to talk about that can be found in the air is cleaning supplies. We definitely want to clean up the cleaning supplies, and I'll give you some options for that. Pesticides or insecticides, so any kind of bug spray, please read the ingredient list on that. Tobacco, hairspray, perfume, building materials, which we've had a lot of experience with paints, cabinets, glues, flooring, all of that off gases unless it's a green builder. And then mold is a big one. If you've had an older home or your bathrooms aren't well ventilated or you haven't had your air ducts cleaned often, mold can be an issue. And if you have mold toxicity and then you have an autoimmune disease, that's going to heighten the autoimmune disease. So you definitely want to make sure there's no mold in your house. One that we struggle with is art supplies. So we try to do arts and crafts in a well-ventilated area, or we try to go in the garage if it's not too hot. So that's always a great option because the markers and the paints, especially for tiny 2 or 3 year olds, are going to affect them way different than it's going to affect an adult. And I always try to think of that with the toxins. Pet dander is a big one. It's really great to invest in a good HEPA sweeper to make sure you're always sweeping, getting the dust and the pet dander up as much as possible. That's going to contribute to taking out toxins in the air. And then VOCs and air fresheners. This is one that I struggle with because I go into people's homes and they want to have this great cinnamon apple scent, and they're actually putting volatile organic compounds, which are VOCs, into the air. So when you're breathing them, it's not only affecting your lungs, but it's going to affect your kidneys and your liver. Everything works together. So it's really important that we try not to be putting chemicals into the air when we're trying to absorb them and keep them out. So let's talk about air toxicity. Let's talk about some free budget and investment ways to clean this up. So first off, a free way I love is once a week, twice a week, open the windows, open the doors. Check air quality first. Make sure your air quality outside isn't poor. I have seen that a lot lately with it being really hot out. And then if someone has asthma or allergies in the house, you might not want to do that free tip either. Next up is charcoal filter bags. And these I like for small spaces. These actually absorb bacteria, harmful pollutants, and excess moisture. So these are great. I like to use these in the bathrooms or the car. You can revive them, put them out in the sun, and they will absorb chemicals. Next up is plants. These are spider plants. They absorb formaldehyde and VOCs as well. Most plants do. You want to make sure and check, because I know certain plants are good for, not good for animals, or depending on where you live. So check the plant list online, see what you like for decoration, and then these are great to absorb VOCs. Then essential oils we have right now, germ fighter and lemon. We either diffuse these or spray them throughout the air, and that's going to help with absorbing toxins. Next up, Branch Basics. Let's talk about cleaning supplies really quick. This is my favorite brand of cleaner right now, especially for viruses, bacteria. Anytime you want to clean your surfaces, it's a great cleaner. And it also replaces all your cleaning products and replaces your laundry detergent, which you want to be mindful of that when you're doing your bedding and then releasing all of the toxins from your bedding, like Tide bleach, or I'm not even sure what all the brands are anymore. Next up, let's talk about investments. So we have made investments because of the off-gassing in our home. And we have, like I said, a child that's sensitive to the air toxins. So we have invested in an air doctor, which looks like this right here. And I like this one. It's the most reasonably priced. I think they're around $600, but right now you can get them usually half price if you go to drmarkhyman.com. These ones usually are about $329. Filters are about $100 every year, which are pretty good. And it has a sensor on it and it tells you when the air's clean and when the filters need changed. So this is good for like a medium-sized room. And then the IQ Air, which I want to show you if I can. We got this one right when we moved in because we had a really big open space. And this one is really good for a huge room, or if you have kids that have asthma or allergies, IQ Air is a great one. HealthMate is a good brand. And just check out what deals they have. Right now, most of these companies are offering great deals because of everything going on with COVID. A lot of schools I'm seeing are putting the air purification systems in the schools, which should have been done prior, but at least they're being aware of it now. So you can get a really great deal on air purifiers. These all should be things that you can do immediately. And I like to call them investments because you're investing, and then hopefully in 10 to 20 years, you won't have a lot of issues, especially like I was talking about previously with cell turnover. It's so important that your cells are turning over rapidly and you're not slowing down your cell turnover with any toxin that we talk about every week. So take the 21 challenge and just see if you can clean up your air, see how you feel. Headaches, breathing. I think it really helps with mental clarity and brain fog when you have nice clean air. And also do your own research. Make sure you check out websites and functional medicine doctors that you know where their fundings come from. That's very important. And then share with a family, a friend. This only takes, right now it's 7 minutes to share all of the fun information that I've given you about cleaning up indoor air. And they have the opportunity to stay the same or change. And we have control over what we breathe indoors. So be mindful of what you're putting into your indoor air. And so increasing longevity for the now generation, that's what's going to help educate them by us making these changes, especially as a parent. So then the kids are watching and are going to do the same thing for their kids, which makes me really excited. Fishbowl quote. I said it last week. If the water is dirty in the fish tank, you change the water. So if your environment is full of toxins, it's time to get rid of them. And that quote is by Jim Quick, a great brain coach that I like any of his work. So if you want to check out Jim Quick, he has a really great book right now called Limitless. And he talks all about toxins and how they affect our brain. I hope these help. And have a great Tuesday. I will see you next week for Toxin Tuesday. And next week's going to be all about GMOs. Have a great day.